really got bad after the Mianus River Bridge fell in on I-95. I think a lot of people had to go around that, and they used 84 to do it. And that was like the beginning of the major traffic going through 84 through that section of Connecticut. Man, it was just wall to wall. 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning is, you'd be out there at either a wreck or a car fire or whatever, and man, it was amazing, the truck traffic and car traffic going through at that hour. So, well, it's just, the highways never sleep anymore, it seems like. WA2FNQ, NA1S.
NA1S, that's WA2FNQ. Oh, God, I know what you're talking about. We moved out here in 1954, and I can remember there's a road just north of me here called 25A. And it used to be a nice little quiet country road. You'd see a car go by every once in a while. I can remember my cousin April and me walking down from my grandfather's house to the general store in Fort Salonga, and there was no traffic. There was absolutely no traffic at all. And now today it's like what you just said. It's one of those roads that never sleep, and it's awful, compared to. There we go. Compared to what this place was back in the 50s, 60s, it's just incredible. The population has increased out here. This area, I guess, is kind of desirable because it's not far from the railroad station, and you can go up on the train and be in Manhattan in an hour or so if you wanted. A little more than an hour. It's probably like about an hour and a half. But, the Long Island, damn it. Hang on. There we go. The Long Island Railroad is crowded, and it's like, it's turned into a nightmare, and it's moving further and further east on the island. And my friend Charlie's out on the ridge, and slowly creeping out that way. But with the problem is, in the summertime, you get all the people who want to go out to Hampton and the East End, and Charlie says, the local roads out there jam up with what he calls the idiots. What are you gonna do? It's really this area has just gotten overpopulated, and the interesting thing that's happening around here, in a few cases, is people who have had a lot of property, so they'll have, like some acreage in their backyard. Well, what they'll do is they'll sell that off, and people build a house on it, and all of a sudden, you see a driveway. Apparently, looks like it goes nowhere, but it goes to the house behind the house. Back down. So anyway, we got one across the street that's just a driveway. It looks like it goes nowhere, but it goes to a house behind another house. God, I don't know. So anyway, it should be a nice, little quiet area, but it's grown up over the years. And when my folks moved out here, it was a bunch of our neighborhood was a bunch of people post-war and all that, and everybody's buying their first home, and and it was kind of nice, and it was a low to middle income area, and then Rosalie Street, you wouldn't believe what's coming into the school. It's just a like a middle class area. She goes, I went up there one day with her, and people are driving these high-end cars, and the little kids are walking around with Gucci purses, and and it's like, what are you kidding me? Like, well, what you got to do now is just consider yourself the white trash on the block. That's what you are. Oh man, the area has grown up in that respect now too. What can I say? I've seen things change so much over the years. It's incredible. But anyway, so much for that. But it all makes for major traffic congestion. Holy crap, man. I don't know where it's going to go from here, Benny. I really don't. It's like this place has exploded. But all that said, yeah, we had a good time. I'm glad you guys had a decent time going up to the Cape and things. I don't know if Peter was up that way or where he was, but yeah. Anyway, and once you get out of the New York metro area, it gets a lot nicer. Though you can see the traffic building up as we headed south to Pennsylvania. And it's once we got down there, the area where we picked up the RV was really nice. But more on the RV and everything next go around. Louis, what you get? Give me one look here to anyone else. This is WH2FNQ.
WA2FNQ NA1S. Very good, Jerry. Yeah, good copy on all. Yeah, you're up running about a 5.9-ish or so. Here, so good copy. A little bit of QRM, but not really bad. Some powerful stations up north of us here, back to where we vacated. But yeah, it's interesting. The crowding has gotten so far out of out on Long Island for you, and it's interesting. The same thing has really happened here. Back when in 1980, when my wife and I bought our first home in Southbury, and I-84 went through town. It was really a sleepy little town. I think there was 2 traffic lights in the entire town, and I was on the southeast side of town, and it was probably a good 2 miles from what was considered the downtown area, and I could actually make the second truck out of the firehouse from my house. And today you wouldn't have a prayer of making any truck out of the firehouse from my location. I ended up over the years just switching over to running out of the substation that was only about a mile away. And gosh, these days when I go down and do shopping in that area, it seems like the downtown Southbury area feels more like White Plains than it did Southbury. It's certainly not a sleepy little town anymore, for sure. Now, of course, I guess you could really blame some of that on my perception as well, since I moved up here to Bethlehem. This really is a tiny little town. It's a farming community. I think there's 3,300 people in town and only 1,650 actual mail stops, according to the gal at the post office. So traffic around here is really pretty good, pretty much all the time. I mean, I think there's more of it than when we moved in 10 years ago, but so thankfully that's not so bad. But yeah, I hear you on what's going on out there in terms of feeling like the white trash. When I first started flying, I used to go out to Long Island all the time, and there was no big deal. You just went into the airports, and they were friendly and inviting and everything else. And I can tell you about about 15 years ago. My partner and I, plus some friends of mine and I, we take the plane out there. I think it was to East Hampton, and I think they slapped us with a $25 landing.